Hey guys, how you doing? It's Wubblemonster here, and today we are playing The Division. We're starting off early on in the game. I've gone through the character creation part, and as you can see, I have decided to be a black skinhead lady in this. In case you're wondering, some of you may not have guessed, I'm not actually a lady, but then again, this is a game and it's all make-believe and fantasy, so why not be a lady and why not be black? I think it's fun. I hope you do too. And to be honest, sometimes because this is a third-person game, I find myself looking at my character's butt, and I much prefer to do that when it's a lady's butt as opposed to a man's. But hey, that's just me. So whatever floats your boat, go for it. Right, we're early on. We're in Brooklyn. We've got to retrieve food supplies. As you can see here, we've just snuck up on these two bad guys, and they're about to get on. Well, one of them is. And there we go. There's the second. So, it's early on in the game. We've done the character creation, as I said. We're in Brooklyn. This is the first part where you level up a couple of times. It's kind of like a tutorial section. It's pretty easy. You can see my shooting is rubbish. I think it's probably the gun. Of course, it's not the gun, it's my shooting, which is rubbish. But I'm going to blame anything that I can. These are all level 1 enemies. We're level 1 as well. We've got no real attributes as yet. We've got the scan skill, which shows up threats and gives us increased critical hit chance, and a couple of other bits and pieces, which is good, but it's very early in the game. And like I said, they're teaching you how to actually play it, how to manage your inventory and do all the other bits and pieces. So what is The Division? Well, basically The Division, guys, is a very, very good, fun and in-depth, good-looking third-person shooty-looty. Here we go, piece of loot. We just picked ourselves up a M870 shotgun. And the idea is to complete missions as you go, level up your character, and eventually you'll get into the end game where there's lots and lots of stuff to do and lots of big bad guys to kill. These are side missions that we're doing here. Again, just leveling up. As you can see, Brooklyn is level 1 to 3, and these missions are relatively simple. Enemy level 1. We've got to rescue civilians. Opportunity coming up here. They'll give us a few XP, show us how the game works, and we can move on from there. There's the shotgun we just got. I'm using an MP5 at the moment. Got a bit better armor. In the early days, guys, and all the way through this game, in reality, what you want to do is be checking your inventory pretty regularly, see what you've got in there, and equip the best stuff that you can. But certainly early on in the game, I mean, my toughness there, as you can see, is 624. With a couple of pieces of armor, that'll go up over 1,000, and it makes you a whole lot tougher and less of a bullet sponge for the bad guys, or more of a bullet sponge even. So we've just equipped this suppressor. It doesn't make a huge difference. It's not a great piece of kit because we're so early on. So we're going to jump ahead here. This is the next level. We're accessing the tunnels, next mission, and this is to rescue the hostages. Now, again, early on in the game, I've started this game. Full disclosure, guys, okay, I've played through The Division. I've played Endgame quite a bit in the past. Now, it's been a couple of years since I did that. I took a break from it. I loved the game. I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and it was great fun with me and my mates playing it for a couple of months. But I got back into Destiny then and into some other games, and I just stepped away from it. I came back to it now because a new patch has come out, and I have always liked the game. It is brilliant fun whether you're doing solo or you're playing with your mates. And it is a brilliant game, and it looks exceptionally pretty. I mean, this game, I think, is one of the better looking games out there. It plays pretty well. I like the third person aspect of it. It's a little bit different, and I also like the fact that you don't just headshot these guys and they all die. You've got to get your hits in them. Your headshots do a lot more damage. Your criticals will do a lot more damage as well, and it's not easy. It's not a walk in the park. Now, as you get better equipment and better gear later on, there will be parts of it that will be a walk in the park, but that's the same with any game. But early on, as you can see, my shooting is absolutely rubbish. I remember my guns being a whole lot more stable and my shooting being a whole lot more accurate, but I think that that's a combination of wishful thinking on my part, and also the fact that we're so early on in the game. We've got no attachments, we've got kind of crappy guns, they're low level white guns, and we don't have any good gear, so that's why it's quite so bad, I think. I remember before, in the past having some cool weapons in this and being able to, you know, get guys and really take them out pretty handily. What I do like about this also is that it scales up. So while the early missions, these guys aren't tough, and later on if you meet a level 1 guy and you're level 5 or 6, you'll absolutely mince them. The reality is that the game will scale with you, and you will have a challenge all the way through. And particularly with the end game stuff, guys, there's a lot of end game content in this, a lot of content I haven't even tried. So I'm really curious to try it. And the goal with this one right now is just to get you guys started, show you how to, you know, do the early few levels. Your main goal here, guys, is to complete these missions in Brooklyn, level up your character, pick up a few bits of gear, learn how the system works, the inventory, you know, how to equip weapons, all of that sort of stuff. We picked up another shotgun there, slightly better, and we picked up some armor. As you can see, I'm equipping this armor. It's only slightly better, but hey, slightly better is better, so why not do it? That mask is a whole lot better. And as I said there earlier, you see, by equipping those few simple things, I've gone from 600, just over 600 toughness to nearly 700. So it makes a big difference. So you get through these few missions, and then you will end up going to Manhattan. Now, I'm not going to be showing you all the cutscenes and stuff here, guys. If you want to work the story, then you'll have plenty of time to do that when you're playing the game itself. The basics of the story are, you are the Division. There's been this terrible viral outbreak in Manhattan and around the world. Loads of people have died, and the Division, i.e. you, have been called in to find out what the hell is going on and to secure the area. There are rioters and gangs all over the place, and because of that, it's exceptionally dangerous for everybody. So your job is to kill bad guys, make it secure, do all that. And one of the first parts of what you need to do is, after you get through Brooklyn, is you're going to be going to Manhattan, and you will be setting up your base. But we will get to that at a later stage. Right now you can see these guys are level 2, a little bit tougher, and I'm using the scan. The scan is quite a handy perk. It is a very handy perk actually, because it highlights the target, so it allows you to see where guys are, which is always good, and gives you increased critical hit chance, I think, and critical hit damage, which is good. Now, you have a choice of a couple of things, or 3 things at the start, which you can choose when you get your first skill. One of them is a sticky bomb, which is handy, I suppose, and again, it depends on your playstyle. I tend to get myself in trouble, is what I tend to do. I overextend and do silly things, so having something that highlights the enemy or makes it easier is good. I also like healing skills, and particularly, you can see there I'm pretty low on health. I had to use a med kit, and then run away, and then run away again. Oh, and we got dead. See, that's what I get for overextending, because I am an idiot. Now the good news is it's allowing me to respawn right at the beginning of this mission, or near the mission. It's only a few meters away. And the other thing that you will see is that we've got to hold the area for those few seconds. Objective is complete, even though I was dead. That's pretty cool. Thank you, game, very, very much. There's still a couple of bad guys in there. We're picking up a med kit because I like to use those a lot, because again, I get dead and injured and stuff. And we're just going to roll into that wall because that looks like a fun thing to do. We've just got to kill these last bad guys. And there I am, nearly dead again. So like I said, the scan is handy for me. I would use a healing perk, but we don't have access to those perks as yet. I will do a video later highlighting the perks and stuff for you, so you can see what's what. But it really depends on the method you want to play, or your style of play. Some people are running guns, some people are get amongst it and start beating people up with melee and stuff. Some people are stay long and use, sniper rifles and things like that. I tend to use kind of a mixture of things, but in reality, for a solo playthrough like this, I'm going to be using mainly medical wing-based skills so that I can heal myself on the fly and hopefully withstand the onslaught of baddies. Now, again, if you're playing this solo, there are many different ways you can play it. I've just, as you can see with my amazing editing here, guys, I have fast traveled back to the base in Brooklyn, the safe house, completed the mission, and we've leveled up to level 3. Yeah, it depends on how you're playing this, and if you're playing it with your friends, you will, you can use a bunch of different perks. I'm going to fast travel here again, guys. Boom, here we go. We are down the street and we've got to the precinct siege, which is your first kind of set piece mission. It's a pretty good mission, actually. We've got to get in here and secure the parking lot. And here come the baddies. So we'll get that on first. The scan going. We've got one and a bit of them dead. Again, my amazing shooting is just phenomenally good. Alright, he's down. Okay, there are two guys up on top. You can see that red highlight there, guys. That's showing where these guys are throwing their grenades. You can see the smoke there. There's another grenade coming in. I'm trying to stay out of those. I don't want to get too disoriented. I am slightly disoriented now because I've been exposed to that. You can see the screen is all blurred. You want to be very careful of grenades. Being disoriented isn't good, but getting blowed up or set on fire is a whole lot worse. So be careful of the grenade circles on the ground. Okay, you'll see them, and if you double X, you can jump out of there. Now, as I was saying, on a solo playthrough, I find it handier to have medical skills available. So healing is easier, right? And the reason for that is, as I've said, I tend to play in a silly way where I get myself in trouble. You see, I missed the fire with that guy. Luckily, I took him out. Otherwise, he was about to beat the shit out of me with his bat. And that's just how I like to play it. The other great thing about this game, The Division, is that the missions, the main missions, scale depending on how many people are playing. So if they're just yourself, that's great. It's manageable. They can be tough, but they'll be manageable. If there are 2 or 3 or 4 of you, it will scale the mission and make it tougher. So you get a challenge out of it, and it also makes it replayable with your buddies. Now, because I am playing solo, it'll mitigate, or it'll change, some of the skills that I'm going to be using. And again, it depends on you. If you're a really talented player, unlike me, then you may want to use a number of different skills and not be so worried about healing. I am worried about healing because, as you can see right now, below my scan there on the HUD, I've got access to 2 med kits, and that's all I can hold at the moment. Now, you can get skills later, which will increase your inventory of med kits, and that's brilliant, but I just like to be able to survive situations if I possibly can. And I find the best way to do that is to have a medical skill equipped. So we've got one last guy to take out here. He's proving a little bit awkward. That was actually some decent shooting, which is unlike me, very unlike me. And we're making our way in here to the police station. We've got to reach the parking garage. That was some good shooting there. Yeah, shoot the car and stand out in the open as well. In a game where it's a third-person cover-based game, being in cover is actually important, guys. I will not be showing you that because I'm a moron. But the reality is you need to be in cover, because when you're not, you will take damage, and you will take lots of it. Particularly if there are multiple bad guys out there, you will take a serious amount of damage. Flicked over to the pistol to just try and finish this guy off. Still made a hames of it. It took a few shots. Anyway, we got him. So, you can see there a survivor at the side, right? That gives you some bonus XP. There are a few different things that will give you bonus XP, like headshots and things like that, after each encounter. So if you engage a group of enemies, you'll see here now, when I engage these guys, right? There are guys here. We're starting an encounter. Once I engage them, it will count headshots and things like that. And you know, for surviving, getting through it in one piece, they actually give you a little bit of bonus XP. There's a grenade coming in. We don't want to be there. Just get out of there in time. So getting your headshots and other bits and pieces is very, very good. As you can see, the XP is popping up on the guys there as we take them out. But at the end of the encounter, it will give you a little synopsis, and you can get some bonus XP from that. Oh, what did you get? Oh, I got, a number of headshots, or there'll be other different things that you will activate as you get through that encounter. So we've just secured the parking garage. It should give us, there you see, headshot by 4 at the side, and we got that bonus XP. So that's really, really handy, guys. Bear that in mind, yeah? If you are a good shot, I'm not particularly good. It helps that when I fire my machine gun right now, my MP5, that the recoil kicks it pretty vertically, so I end up getting some headshots with it, which is nice. So we're going into the police station itself, through the garage. It's a relatively simple mission here early on, guys. Now, when I say relatively simple, I mean, have a look around, and there may be stuff that I've missed here. I'm sure there is. If you really want to be hugely detailed and you know, a completionist, then go for it. That's up to you. I'm just kind of running through here because my main goal was to get through this mission, get to Manhattan, and move on with the main story end of things. Now the armory, you've got to guess there's something in the armory, right? Okay, we've got a restock, but there's also a box there, you can see it behind us. And what have we got? We've got a PX4 Storm. That's a new pistol. All of these things add up, guys. They're saleable. You can break them down into crafting parts. We found the hostages. There they are in the jail cell behind us. And we're going in here to use this keyboard to release them. Now, at the start of the game, I've started it a few times, you always seem to get the MP5. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it is just random. I don't know if you can get an assault rifle or a shotgun or other things. I would assume you can't. I would assume they probably start you on the SMG, simply because at short range it's pretty devastating, and it kind of gets you used to the fact that there is a lot of recoil in this game, that you've got to be, you know, careful with it. If you go full auto, you're going to lose control of your weapon. You want to be taking your time, you want to be aiming, you want to be burst firing and things like that. Now you can get some burst fire SMGs and they are okay. I tend to, you know, prefer the assault rifles, but that's me. Now the reason why there was a bit of a chop there, guys, is there was all sorts of nonsense in here and running up and down to get to this last part here. And being honest with you, not only did I run into that wall because I'm a fucking idiot, but I also died the first time I came up here, right? I came barreling up here, wasn't looking at my scanner, forgot what was going on, got overwhelmed by the bad guys, and then they made shit of me. And that's what I say about, you need to take your time. Your scanner is very, very handy. So use it. Use what you've got, you know. And look at that. At short range, you see the SMG there just devastated that dude. But obviously, if you're at short range, the bad guys are at short range too, and they get that bit closer to you. When you're reloading, I recommend you stay in cover. Also, don't stick your head up like I do, because I'm stupid, because that is a stupid thing to do. So yeah, I got on when I came through here first. I was in such a rush. So be careful. Yeah. Again, the bad guys, 1-on-1, 1-on-2, they're pretty easy. You know, you shouldn't have a huge problem with them. These guys are level 3, as you can see. But as there are more of them around, you tend to lose track of where they are. And if you get flanked at all, you will take serious damage. And you'll find yourself being very dead very, very quickly. And as we all know, or should know at this stage, being very dead isn't very good. It's normally not a good plan. So take your time. As you get used to the game, get used to the controls, get used to the mechanics of it. All new games, part of it's getting used to the mechanics of how it actually works. How does this loot system work? How does this cover system work? You know, how sticky is this cover system? How close do I need to be to cover to activate the button and get in there? All these things will become apparent to you, and again, it's experience. Now, as you can see, I had to use a med kit there because I got myself in trouble. One guy, and I just got myself in trouble and allowed myself to have to use that med kit. So we've cleared this upper floor now. We've got to neutralize the leader. Now I'm going to show you this, guys, because again, this was me running out and going, hey, I got you, and then I got dead, right? And then I thought, hold on a sec, listen, I'm going to do this again. I know what to do, and then I got dead again. So don't do what I do, okay? Take your time. If you take it slowly and methodically, you can take these guys out, okay? There are a few waves, as you can see. And the big bad guy is an elite. He's got armor on him, so you've got to be careful about what you do to take him out. Grenade coming in there, need to get the hell out of the area. Probably wasn't the best idea to run right up there in front of these dudes. But he's gone. Now you can see more guys coming out of the back there, okay? There are flammable objects down there, guys. And if you were good enough at shooting and could set those on fire, all of those guys on fire would save you a whole lot of work. I managed not to set any of those things on fire or explode anything, which made my life hugely more difficult. Now, part of that may be because it's the SMG. That's what I'm blaming it on. But the reality is my shooting just wasn't good enough, okay? There are lots of flammable objects up here, guys. Use them to your advantage. Early on in this game, it's a massive advantage to you to be able to set guys on fire. It does two things. One, it does damage over time to them, okay? But two, it keeps them out of the fight. When they're on fire, they're not going to be throwing grenades at you or shooting at you or running from cover to cover, okay? They're going to be busy going, I'm on fire. and that can only play to your advantage. Now, we haven't seen the big bad guy as of yet. He's going to come out shortly. You can also look at this, guys, as to how the spawn works, okay? Because it works that when you've killed a certain amount of bad guys, the leader, he comes out. And if you can work it properly and know exactly what's going on, it will make it much easier for you. There he is there, Ripper. Ripper, you see he's armoured now. And again, my health is really, really low. I've only got one medkit left, and Ripper here is running all over the shop. And am I going to get dead again? No, please don't get dead. Thank you, get in cover. Right, that was a close escape again, guys. I had no health left there. This guy Ripper is an elite. You can see by his red bar and those white pips above it, okay? That's his armour. If you have armour piercing ability, then that will make it much easier to take out that armour. And the other thing is, I should have shot that guy while he was throwing his grenade. If I had, he would have dropped it on Ripper and disoriented him, and I could have hammered him at that stage, but I didn't. My health is down to 1 main bar of 3, and the reason for that, guys, is you can't go above that until you're out of combat. Now, I've got to secure the roofs. There's still a guy there. That's another thing to be careful of. When you kill Ripper, don't just run out and go, yay, I got him, because there's still bad guys there. Luckily, I didn't, for a change. Still nearly got owned by that guy. I still haven't managed to kill him. But if I had run out there and got dead, I don't know if it would have reset me all the way back to the start, because we'd already killed Ripper. It might have just reset us outside the roof with that one guy left to kill. Anyway, roof is now secured, and as you'll see, our health will keep building up now because we are out of combat. Getting some loot, okay. We got a mechanical holster, a few other bits out there, like machine gun ammo and other things. So now we're dropping off here. Release the rope. I do love this. I think it's a cool mechanic. It's one of the cool things the Division does, and I really, really like it. They're very, very handy. So again, we got some good XP from there, and we got a police M4. That is a kick-ass weapon, guys, okay? I've got to tell you, it makes a huge difference. Now, as you can see, Manhattan transfer. This way, that will tell you. The big arrow and this way will tell you where to go. Okay? We've picked up some new stuff. Go into your inventory, check it out. Look at that M4. It's so much better than the MP5. Accuracy is much better. Range is better. It's a fine, fine weapon. And to be fair, even later in the game, the M4 will be a gun you will use, okay? I tend to like, as I said, the assault rifles, and the M4 is considered one of the best. We got a mechanical holster. That's what we got for killing that dude. That has knocked our toughness up by almost 50%, guys. So you can see how adding just 1 or 2 pieces of equipment can make a massive difference. Anyway, those are the first areas, guys. This is the tutorial. They start off the Division levels 1, 2, 3 in Brooklyn. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing the cutscenes and things like that. When we get back, I'll be showing you the early stages of Manhattan and how you set up your base of operations. If you enjoyed it, please give a like or a sub, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.
You are now entering a safe area.
PlayStation